Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Up with Richard and my first artificial live stream. Now, you might ask yourself, what is an artificial live stream? Well, I'm going to treat this just like I would if I was doing a live stream, only I don't have the live chat. But I think we can fix that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want me to talk about anything, leave them in the comments below. And then next Sunday, I will address those comments, or I'll come up with a topic of my own. I hope today is finding you well as can be expected under today's circumstances anyway. I know Pat and I were pretty busy last week. I got in 3 bicycle rides. I also had a chance to play some golf with some of the buddies that I played with last year. They opened up the courses in Indiana. And we had to walk the course. There were no golf carts, but it was very good exercise. And I did swing the club a few more times than normal, but that's to be expected the first time out. And I'm not that great of a golfer anyway. But we had fun, and I think that was the big part of it. And just the fact we were getting outside and enjoying the weather was a nice thing. Pat and I also did some grocery shopping last Tuesday, a week ago today. We go every other week, taking our life into our own hands. We had our masks on, but there were plenty of people who didn't. And some stores were starting to require it, even though a lot of people are complaining about that. So who knows what's going on. We're going to wear ours to protect other people, and that's the way it goes, I guess. Well, she went to Aldi like she always does, and while she was at Aldi, I went down to Gordon's. I picked up some coffee, and then I waited for her to come out, and we ended up doing some shopping at Meijer's. Got everything we needed, except, the one thing that's always not on the shelf, toilet paper. But I think we're good. We're good for a while anyway, so not a big concern there. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. But it'll be, like I said, it'll be a lot more fun next Sunday when you have some comments and concerns, you have some questions, and I can address those. All right, since I don't have any questions, comments, or concerns this week, I guess I'm going to start with a topic. And I guess the topic I want to talk about today is setting goals. I don't know if you set goals. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I know I do have some bicycling goals that I set this year, and I would like to ride at least 1,500 miles between now and January 1st, 2021. I think that would be a pretty good goal for me. This week, I think we were going to play golf, but it looks like the weather's going to be not good enough to do that. I mean, I don't feel like playing golf under the temperatures of 45 degrees. Just don't feel like it. Too windy, too cold. Today is nasty, rainy, and a good day just to stay in the house and maybe watch another movie. I've OD'd on John Wayne movies. What was that? Hellfires I watched. Real Lobo. I think maybe McClintock is coming up in the future. I need a little comedy. Yeah. Anyway, the goal I want to set this week, though, is I do want to start concentrating on losing some weight. Sitting around the house the last month, I know doggone well I've gained 5 or 6 pounds. Just have not been very active. So hopefully I can get active by playing golf, getting out on a couple more bike rides. And I like to walk the track at the high school. It's a great facility. They allow us to do it. It's cushiony because it's one of those artificial tracks. And I can walk up and down the bleachers carrying my dumbbells. You got a dumbbell, carrying dumbbells up and down those stairs. I'd like to do that at least a couple times this week. Get out on at least 2 more bike rides this week. And I think that'll be my goal for the week. So, do you set goals? If you do, let me know what they are. If you don't set goals, can you tell me why? If you're like me, sometimes you set goals, you don't get to the end, so why bother? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide whether you want to comment or not. How do you like that Three Stooges mug? I did watch some Three Stooges videos. That's how bad it got. I haven't watched a lot of those for quite a few years, even though when I was a kid I would OD on Three Stooges. And I forgot to mention, my hair is quite long, much longer than I would normally have it. And I have not been to a barber shop in 3 months. And of course, you know, they've been closed for the last month. And so a comedy occurred in my kitchen as my wife tried to cut my hair. Now, eventually it got done after she poked me in the ear with the edge of the scissors, with the end of the scissors. And then on top of that, she started laughing. I started laughing. It's a wonder. Well, I do have some chunks out here and there, but all in all, it turned out to be quite an experience. Got out and mowed the grass the other day. Really needed it, and it's coming in all right. But my front yard does not look good, and I've tried to treat it the last few years myself, and it just has not worked out. So I hired somebody to come in and do some weed killing and some fertilizing and that kind of thing. I also need to make a concerted effort to make sure that I water the lawn more often than what I have. It's hard to grow grass on sand, and that's pretty much what's underneath my grass right now is sand. So when you water it, it just sucks right through, and it's a never-ending process. The neighbor doesn't have quite as much problem because years ago he poured black dirt on the front yard, so he's actually got a much better soil base than what I do. Parts of my lawn have been dying out, and I have no clue why. Hopefully this guy will be able to help me straighten it out so the front yard will look a little better when all the wealthy Chicago people drive by, because they have to be looking at this place going, oh, oh well, it is what it is. I've also wanted to do an overnight bicycle tour. Um, Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been real good, and all the state campgrounds in Michigan right now are closed to camping. So I thought what I would do would be hop on my bike, load it up just like I would if I was going on an overnight trip, and do a 25 or a 30-mile bicycle ride, come right back home, and camp out in my backyard. And I'm still planning on doing that if I can get a decent day and a night that it's not going to get down into 30 degrees, because I just don't have the equipment to camp out if the temperature drops really below 45 degrees. But that's also a goal I have. Hopefully I can get that done in the next week or so. It's been sort of nice. Was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. We had a visit with both of my kids, my grandkids, my sister-in-law. Now you might ask, how are you doing that? Well, the visit was through Zoom. I guess that's the popular way to communicate with multiple people on a screen. So that's what we did. We had a nice, about an hour conversation with my grandkids, my kids, my sister-in-law, and we just Zoomed. Yeah, wasn't there a TV show, a kids' TV show? We're going to Zoom, 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 Zoom. Well, apparently now you can really Zoom. And we did. Yeah, modern technology. What would we do without it? I just have to mention, you may have heard some truck noise going by. If you have, well, we've had trucks going back and forth down our street to the beach for the last 2 years. Back and forth, truckload after truckload of stone. And what they're doing is taking all the stone and rocks and heading down to the beach to secure it. With all the high water levels we've had here in Michigan, along the shoreline from Lake Michigan, things have somewhat gotten out of control, especially down at our local beach. The road was closed again last Thursday, and they say it's the worst flooding that they've had, and things just aren't getting any better. But I am going to vlog that. The truck's going by. I'll show you what's happening at the beachfront. And if you want to go back and take a look at my previous videos, I think I did 3 of them. I can't remember the titles of them, but go back and take a look of the impending disaster, I believe, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to do another impending disaster video, only this time I'm going to show you what they're trying to do to fix it up. And see you again next Sunday, which is May 10th, Mother's Day. How about that? So we'll do a little Mother's Day program. How about that? Remember, comments, concerns, if you got any topics you want me to talk about, let me know. See you Sunday.